Abdul, you've got like a lot of things that you've done. You have got a lot of things, and I know you've been doing a lot. But when you kind of like told me everything when I invited you onto the podcast, you really did give me a list of shit that you've done, and it's impressive as hell. Like really, really is. But I thought first of all we'd touch on your books, and I actually have two of them here. So I've got Native and the Ghost of Shaolin.
Ooh, nice covers.
Yeah.
Really nice. What I love about Native as well, it's a picture book.
My favorite kind of book.
Because it's got some really nice little illustrations in there and stuff, like these little things in the book.
Ooh, very fancy.
Yeah.
What is it?
I don't know what that was. I think was that a TP? Abdul, could you tell me? Tell old Flynn.
Yeah, so Native's about a girl that goes off to university in LA, and she's Native American, and she learns that she's part of this great prophecy, and it's a fictional book. And what I essentially do is twist Native American mythology and Polynesian mythology together and make it a sort of young adult teen fictional book. So it's like a coming-of-age story, and I wanted to put a spin on vampires and werewolves, but not like Twilight or these teen books, but from a mythological point of view. So think more cannibals and shapeshifters.
Ooh, that sounds awesome.
And
They
they
have got a Robert Patterson in the book though. This guy here.
I was going more for like a Samoan, but you know.
Samoan Robert Patterson.
Yeah.
And that's a guy I want to meet.
A mixture between the two. So yeah. But yeah, essentially, I was always interested in Native American mythology, and then somehow stumbled on Polynesian mythology, and then I just realized how similar they both were in their own rights, but from a story perspective, like the beginning, middle, and end, they were quite similar. So I decided to mash the two and put it in modern day, and 52 or 54,000 words later, I got a novel.
And fair play. Max. I remember when you started writing this as well, because we went out to lunch and you were saying, "Oh, I've started writing a book." And I remember at the time going, "What the fuck, Abdul's writing a book?" Like it seemed completely out of nowhere. But again, it went from that kind of meeting, and suddenly you'd gotten like everything kind of being sent off to like the publishers and and I think like the writers to check it and everything like that.
Yeah.
I don't know the full process. But like it all moved really, really quickly from that point on, and I think that's fucking fantastic. Like how you just went for it as well, and I love the Tinder bio in the front as well.
Looking good.
Thank you.
Freeman's Tinder profile photo. And also, I will say, where's my thanks in the book? There's no thanks, Flynn Burden.
It's on the back of the receipt.
It's on the back of the receipt.
You might need to buy it again to see it.
I need to buy it again.
But actually,
the whole
saying that,
and it just says, "Flynn says you're welcome."
You wrote that in there yourself, man.
you were mentioning about the when I first told you was actually the first person I actually told I was writing a book. So yeah, I remember we went out to lunch. I think it was in Coffee Number One or something in town, and I just like laid it on the table and was like to Flynn, "Oh, I've done this book." And he was looking at me like, "Yeah, you're talking shit." And I said to him, no, like this is the idea. This is what I want to do. And he was looking at me like, "You crazy? Like, you know, you don't write, barely read."
Oh, what a hater, man!
I think a lot of that stems because we had Rob Leonard on here previously, literally about 4 sessions ago, and we was talking about college, and me and Abdul went to college on that exact same course with Rob.
Yep.
And Abdul was always cast like he wasn't ever cast like in a larger role, and I don't know why, but he can just literally just give them all a massive middle finger since leaving. Do it, you fucking pricks. All this shit, which we'll get onto a little bit later, but I know I couldn't be prouder of you, man. Couldn't be prouder of you. You've done some really fucking incredible things since I've known you, and obviously these are the first two that you've done. So Native and the Ghost of Shaolin, which are all available to buy, and we'll put links for all your books and stuff in the description down below. So anybody that's watching on YouTube or on SoundCloud, give them a check out, man, because they have some freaking good books. But you've got more on the way. A new one as well called Escape.
Yeah, Escape.
And then
I've got a copy with me here.
Oh,
This is Boy Escape right here. So it's a novella. It's about a boy from a Venezuelan orphanage, and he plans to escape, believe it or not. And I touch on some real harsh realities of children living in South America. So during this story, it talks a lot about like crime, gangs, drugs, human trafficking, child exploitation, all in a fictional story. And at the time, I was doing a lot of research. Whenever I write, I do tons of research about topics and places and people to get a feel of their culture and the places. But at the time, there was a lot of stuff going on in Venezuela. And believe it or not, I wrote that book straight after Native. So it's about 6-7 years old. I published it last year, December. Yeah, December. And yeah, I'm getting some really good feedback. I got some pretty cool people to review it. So Rakaya Esme Fatuga, who's she's a Roundhouse Slam champion in poetry. Great person. She actually encouraged me to do poetry. So props to her. Caleb Femi, he's all around artist, poet, fashion guru. He works alongside what's his name? The guy in Gucci, I forget what his name is. He makes all like the Air Jordans and Nikes as well. But yeah, great guy. Ashley Hickson Levance, he's never author. Super cool guy. Always hollers at me on social media. Always gives me advice and is always wanting to know what I'm up to. Silly Breaks, another poet and kind of like a mentor to me. I always talk to him about things, and he's doing great things on like BBC and on YouTube, and I'm sure he's got more stuff coming out. But some really great people reviewed it and gave some really heartfelt words. So if any of you haven't read it, go ahead and purchase it, have a read. And more than anything, if you do read it and something resembles to, have a look, see what's going on in the world. Have a look, see what's happening in Venezuela. There's lots to learn by just doing a Google search on the world.
It's a very good point to make, man. There is a lot of shit going on in the world that we just don't hear about or think about even. We're sat here in our nice flat thinking about, oh, lockdown's so hard. There's a lot worse shit going on in the world. It's good to think about that sometimes.
Yeah, 100%.